You know the vibes.
Some fathers put up with a lot. Take it from a father that now has 3 kids from 3 different women with 3 different personalities. I can also take it a step further. I actually would have had 4 kids with 4 different women, but one of my kids passed away at birth. You know what I mean? So now, I have my oldest son's mom. We get along great. We've known each other since we were kids. We basically grew up together. We know each other so well that we could finish each other's sentences and thoughts. We could talk about anything. In fact, I don't think it's anything that we haven't talked about. Let's dive in. She makes it very easy to co-parent. In fact, I could say it's been a pleasure to co-parent with her. You know what I mean? All of these many years. But don't let me make it seem like it's always perfect. Our personalities clash a lot. I'm a very laid-back person. She's a very pushy person. I call it pushy. She call it getting things done and over with. She's very bossy. Meanwhile, I'm the type that don't like to feel like I'm being controlled. You know what I'm saying? Over the years, we developed a system. You know what I mean? It's an unofficial, unwritten rule or law that we have, and we never really talked about it. I consider her opinion and let her throw her 2 cents into everything. You know what I'm saying? I even call her for advice in certain situations that don't have nothing to do with her, because I know she enjoys that role. In return, she includes me into most of all the final decision making when it comes to my son. And what I say goes, even if she don't like it, you know what I mean? Even if she don't like my decision. And don't get me wrong, she'll fight against it. But what I say goes, you know what I'm saying? At the end, that's balance. Now, my youngest son's mom, she's the complete opposite. We've known each other for about 9 years. No matter what I say, no matter what I do, no matter what approach I take to co-parenting, it never worked. I've tried being friends. When I say I've tried being friends, I mean I would call her every day or every other day to see how she's doing and see if she needed something. I've tried hanging out with her and my son instead of just picking him up and leaving, you know what I'm saying? It'd be all 3 of us. I would randomly stop by and bring food for her and my son and hang out with them and her family at her family's house. I would go by and help her fix her car if she needed it. You know what I'm saying? She was having any car trouble and all of that. But none of that shit worked. None of that was ever enough. She was always complaining about things. I tried the co-parenting role, just picking up my son and leaving because, you know what I'm saying, just to avoid the problems, you know what I mean? And the problem was, after a while, she would not allow me to pick up my son. She would not involve me into his life or keep me updated on his health. The only time she would tell me things about him is when it was some type of school event, like a graduation or award ceremony, you know, something that was a social event. I realized why she did all of that. Some of y'all already know why, but I ain't that smart. She was acting like that because she wanted to be with me. So I did what some parents do. You know what I'm saying? I sacrificed my happiness to be a part of my kid's life. You know what I'm saying? I tried to work things out with his mom, you feel me? Man, this is some real shit. I even gave it my all. I really tried to make it work. But we just don't get along. You get what I'm saying? We like oil and water. You know what I mean? She turned bitter after that. You feel me? Everything has been hell since then. We barely talk. I barely get to see my son. Sad part is, we didn't even end on bad terms. She just didn't want it to end. I gave it a whole year, y'all. A whole year. And I really tried to make it work. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, we just 2 different people. I thought it would be better to work on a friendship than to end up being complete enemies at the end of the day. But that plan backfired in my face, because at the end of the day, to her, I'm an enemy. Even though I don't do anything to her. You get what I'm saying? And because of that, I gotta fight to see my son. It goes as far as I might even have to take her to court or something and involve the court system, because when I call to see him or I want to do something with him, I gotta put up with a whole bunch of BS. You know what I mean? That's a personality that I had to deal with, but I learned how to get around it. You know, I could actually, you know, figure my way around that, but we gonna put a pause on that, and I'll come back to it. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on to my youngest kid's mom. She's calm, she's laid back, she's just like me. She respects me, she listens to me and learns from me, and I listen to her and learn from her. We learn from each other's past interactions with relationships. You know what I'm saying? She tell me what she been through. I tell her what I've been through. We are very transparent up front with what went on. And because of my past experiences with my other kid's mom, I learned how to treat her different. We agree to disagree. And we both have the ability to tell that when we both, you know, if I'm on some BS, I could see it that I'm on some BS. Like, I could dead ass see that I'm doing some bullshit. And I could come back to her and apologize and be like, you know what, yo, I was wildin'. You know what I'm saying? Not that I be wildin', like take it to the next level with the wildin' shit, but you know, I might have said something that I probably shouldn't have never said, or took a situation a little too far, and she does the same. When she take a situation too far, we could both come back to each other and apologize, and I don't gotta go to her and be like, yo, you know what? The fuck? Like, and wild out on her about whatever, and she don't gotta come to me. We both check ourselves. You get what I'm saying? But don't get me wrong. There's some situations where we do have to speak about issues that we have going on. But that's a beautiful thing because we have communication. I don't gotta go far out of my way to make her happy. I don't think that she feels that she has to go far out of her way to make me happy. So fast forward, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of relationship we're gonna have as co-parents. Get what I'm saying? Because the kid is not here yet. But I do know that we're definitely planning on getting married. We're definitely planning on moving in together. We definitely have all of this stuff figured out, and it works out perfect the way we have it set up. So, y'all wish me luck. I basically say all of this to say that as a father, you have a lot to put up with as well. You dig what I'm saying? It's not just the kids. You have to learn how to figure out your way around the mothers too, because ultimately they're the ones who have the kids in possession most of the time. I know some situations is unique where the father has the kid, but I'm not speaking solely for them. I'm speaking for the masses of how things has been for the past couple of years. You know, the kids normally be with the mom. So, with that said, it's hard for a father to navigate being a father and being a co-parent with the mother, depending on where her plans are and how she is, her personality. And being that she has more time with the kids, everything that she says, for the most part, goes. And you're not really included in everything. So shout out to the fathers that put up with all of that bullshit. Because a lot of times, even though it's not popular belief, it's bullshit that comes with being a father. You know what I'm saying? It's bullshit that comes with it. I know a lot of y'all ladies like to point the finger at the man and say it's him all the time, but come on, you know what I mean? Come on. There's some women out here, and I know how y'all do. Every woman that I'll speak to about it'll be like, it ain't me. It ain't me, but it's somebody. One of you motherfuckers is fucking up, and you know it. And it's probably you, motherfucker. Stop acting like it ain't. But nevertheless, moving on past that too, you know what I'm saying? I want to shout out my dad. I want to include y'all into a little story that some of y'all may know and some of y'all may not know. Now, for all the people that know me and know me well, you know that my mom died when I was 6 years old, and my father raised me. Now, putting myself in his shoes, or put yourself in his shoes for a second. Your first kid, right? Normally, you and the woman break up some way, somehow, if that's the situation, right? That's how y'all end up separated. Y'all break up. But he didn't break up with his woman. She died. Now, my father before she died, she was in the hospital for 1 year. My father used to take me up to that hospital every single day. And mind you, at this time, he didn't even have a car. So we would walk a 20, 30-minute walk from my school up to the hospital. And we would sit there from about 3:30 in the afternoon till visiting hours was over about like 9 every day. And on the weekends, we went up there even earlier and stayed even later. You get what I'm saying? He loved that woman. He was there for her. This is what he did for his baby moms. This is what he learned. This is what he learned to adapt to with his baby moms and his kid. So after a year of that, my mother died. Now, my aunt, which is my mom's aunt, so it's my great aunt, offered to take me in, you know what I mean, and raise me. My dad said, nah, I'ma take my son. At this time, my dad only lived in a room, a rooming house. And all he had was a room, and it wasn't that big. He just had his bed in there just for when I was to come visit. You get what I'm saying? My dad's manned up. He went and got us a set of bunk beds. And I stayed, I know y'all probably gonna laugh at me. I stayed in there till I was 11 years old. My father bought his first house. Now that's a real success story if you ask me. You get what I'm saying? It took him 5 years to save up the money to get a house. He didn't get no apartment, he didn't do none of that. It took him 5 years to save up the money to get a house for him and his son, and he did it. So when you tell me about a real man and you talking to me about how fathers ain't shit and so forth and so on, it's a little offensive because number one, my father is the shit. You get what I'm saying? My father's the shit. I look at him and he's my role model for who I'm trying to be, how I'm trying to be with my kids' mothers and my kids. I want to have the same type of love for my kids' mothers as I have for my kids, and I treat them with the same type of respect because I learned it from somebody. You know what I'm saying? I learned it from somebody that I look up to. And I got the utmost respect for my dad, cause he's a real man. Happy Father's Day to him, happy Father's Day to you. You know the vibes. They don't call me the king for nothing. Salute, family.
Salute, Queen. Let Uncle Drizzy rap with you for a minute. Now I know I'm old, and I don't really know much about the times, but the one thing I do know is a lot of y'all chicks out here look like y'all just climbed up out the casket. Now I know a freelance makeup artist that specializes in bold and natural looks for the sisters. She been servicing the community of North New Jersey for the past 3 years. She does weddings, birthday parties, small parties, large parties, all parties. And for between $60 and $80, she can have you out here looking like somebody too. So go to Instagram and check out my girl Misty at Sunkissed by Misty. That's SUNKISSEDBYMISTY. And tell her Uncle Drizzy sent you. You know the vibes. They don't call me the king for nothing.